edition of the Married Life Podcast. Yeah, see, listen, most people, they don't got a relationship problem, good people. They got a pattern problem, right? Yeah, and so listen, we've been getting your questions, you've been hitting us up, so we decided to go live. So in this episode today, episode 22, 20, something like that, man. You know, man, we just been cranking them out. We're going to give you our 27 years experience and advice, and we're going to answer these questions. Because like I said, you don't got a relationship problem. You got a pattern problem. So welcome back to the Married Life Episode Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, FM, your life coach, and this is my boo thing. What's your... And this is the Married Life Podcast, good people, where we slow things down. We recognize the patterns, not only in ourselves, but in our relationships, so we can regulate our body, so we can get a new revelation, build that rhythm, and then put that on repeat mode so we can do what, babe?
Fly.
So we can fly together, baby. So listen, this is a live Q&A.
Yes.
So as we go through some of these questions, if you got questions, drop them. If you see the replay of this and you got a question, drop it. Or email us at I always forget the email.
THA marriedlife23@gmail.com.
Man, you ready to get into this?
Let's do it.
Man, like I said, listen, good people, man, we appreciate y'all hitting us up. So we just wrote down 5 of the top questions that we was getting, and we just want to answer them online right now, live. So like I said, man, we just gonna jump right into this thing. So listen, let me set this up by saying this. Like I said, most couples aren't dealing with new problems. I always say this, right? We talk about this. This 27 years, good people. So we done been through a lot of shit to get here to 27 years to be a thriving relationship like this. Most couples aren't dealing with new problems. They're dealing with repeated patterns. So today we want to shine a light on this episode on those repeated patterns, or just from some of the questions. And then if you got more questions, drop them. This is what we do. We want to help you, good people. So listen, you don't argue about new things. You repeat unresolved patterns. That's the argument. That's the argument. All right. So listen, man, let's get into this first question, man. You can read the first question, and then listen, me and wife are just gonna break it down from our own perspective.
Right.
And then we just gonna move on to the next question. So
all right, first question. Why do we keep having the same argument?
Break that. You want me to go first?
Yeah,
you go first.
Go ahead.
Well, man, we already said that. That's the easy one for us. Pattern recognition, right? So I wrote down here, it's not about what's being said, it's about how you're being triggered, right? So you got to recognize the pattern. So I always say, you're not arguing about the dishes or the dog, right? You're really arguing about not being seen or being heard, right? So 27 years in, this is real. Like whenever I was at my height or we was arguing about the same things, it was only because I felt like she wasn't hearing me. And vice versa, right? She wasn't either hearing me or she wasn't seeing me, right? So I'm trying to grind my point across instead of just, slowing ourselves down, recognizing, using the speaker listening technique like we talk about, right? Because if you're arguing about the same thing, you're just not recognizing the pattern that's driving the argument. So, man, I'm gonna let you kind of, give your...
I mean, yeah, that's so true. I mean, and it could also stem from something that happened in your childhood. I mean, you could be going through a pattern you've seen in childhood that you haven't. And sometimes these are hard. I don't know. Sometimes these are harder to see because we don't always go back that far.
That's true.
So, sometimes recognize what's at the root of what you're arguing about and kind of do a self-examination. Like, man, did I see this as a child? How did I feel? Did I feel a certain way about this as a child? And those things could be triggering you now as an adult.
That's true.
I know when he first started kind of going, he always likes to go deeper. And I'm like, I don't want to go deeper. Ain't nothing deeper than, but there really is. So I had to recognize that myself. I had to be like, okay, yeah, he's right. There's things from my past, whether that's all the way back to childhood or, however long ago it was, that is affecting my life now. And, you have to be okay with going deeper and doing a deep dive to see, okay, how can I resolve this? Because keep doing the same thing is not fun.
Man, I like that deep dive. And she right. I mean, I think everything is connected to the first 7 years. Y'all hear me talk about that nervous system work, childhood, right? And then everybody wants to be seen and heard, especially in a relationship. It's no fun when you're in a relationship and you're not being seen for who you are or being heard for what you're trying to add to the relationship. So that causes a lot of arguments too. So that's how we will answer question number one, man. You know, I hope that helped you, you know. So before we go to the second question, you know, I'm a note taker. I always write notes. So I'll put this down. If you don't recognize the pattern, you will repeat it with precision.
That's so true.
Okay. All right. All right. Listen. Question number 2. Why don't I feel heard? Ooh, this is a big one right here. This is a big one right here. This is a big one. So I would have to say, you want me to start again or you want? So I would have to say 27 years in, a lot of times when I didn't feel heard, well, let me say it from her end. When she didn't feel heard, a lot of times what was going on within me, I was hearing, or what she was saying sounded defensive because it was landing in a dysregulated nervous system, right? So no matter what she was saying, I wouldn't have been able to hear it right because I would take it as a threat or defense. So if you're not really regulated before you're communicating, you won't feel heard. So that's how I would say it. A lot of times during 27 years, we weren't regulated before we communicated. So guess what? Nobody's going to be heard at that point. It's just a lot of hollering and screaming and trying to get your point across.
And what is regulated? So you can kind of break that down.
So for me, regulated is not just, no. It's really slowing yourself down, good people. Slowing yourself down, grounding yourself, right? Me and Dr. Ford teach something about the grounding technique, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's really about being present. So when I say regulated, you're really focusing on what the conversation is about.
And not automatically have defense mode on. I mean, it just, I totally get that with being regulated. Have you ever had an argument with someone and you're really going in circles? You're not regulated. You can't solve anything. Like, I know when we've had arguments before, one of us will say, hey, this is not the time to even have that discussion because neither one of us are hearing anything the other person is saying. We just want to go to full on attack mode. Let me get my point across.
That's real.
You can't have those type of discussions when you are not in a good headspace.
That's real. That's real. See, I wrote down this too. Most people listen to respond, right? Or listen, let me say it like this, not to respond. Most people listen to react. Let me say it that way. They don't respond. So most people just listen so they can hear something, then they can hear it and jump back in and say something. No, you gotta listen with an understanding. But that comes from being regulated. So that's how I would answer that question. How to feel heard, you gotta have regulated conversations with people. This is like I said, I keep going back. This is almost 3 decades.
We say it like that. That's
27 years, man. We giving y'all the sauce, and y'all see the happiness. This ain't for the camera. Anybody that know us know, man. This is how we live, good people. This is who we are. This is a real, thriving, loving relationship. This is my boo thing. We ain't doing this to try to sell products. So I would say you have to be regulated when you say on that. So before we get to question number 3. I'm gonna leave you with this. You don't feel unheard. You feel unsafe to express.
That's good. Yeah, that is. Woo.
Because if you don't feel safe, your nervous system is gonna
shut down.
Shut down mode, man. And so whenever you communicate, just remember that if you're not feeling heard, maybe you're not regulating yourself. Right before that conversation. So sometimes you might have to step away, like Wifey said, to regulate and then re-enter that conversation. Right? Okay. Question number 3, babe. Question number 3.
Right. Why has the connection changed? That's a good one.
That's a good one.
first of all, how long have you been together? You know, what's going on in your life? You know, do you guys keep updates with each other? You
Mhm.
know, what has changed for you personally? Ask your partner what's changed for them personally. You know,
Yeah,
just it goes back to communication. You've got to communicate what's going on, even if it is just like for me. I had to communicate with him the perimenopause situation.
yeah,
Like he
yeah.
don't know nothing about that.
Nothing.
He can't understand what I'm going through, and I'm going through stuff, you know, that I've never experienced before. And so I'm changing, my body's changing, my mental capacity is changing. So I don't know, I just feel like, you know, that
No, that's real.
getting connected is about a lot of communication and what's going on with the person.
No, man, listen, you said it right.
My nose is itching so
Well,
oh
scratch
my
it.
god,
It's
it's
all
itching
right.
so
The people
bad.
understand.
It's itching so bad.
Listen, man, like she said, good people, why has the connection changed? This is what I wrote down to just piggyback off her. Life seasons shift, you know,
Right.
rhythm shifts, kids, stress. She just touched on perimenopause, hormones,
Ooh,
pressure, people panic instead of adjusting.
right.
Right? So sometimes when that connection change, especially in long-term relationships, we talking long-term relationships, because this is what normally happens in a long-term relationship. That connection seems like it's changed, but it's not. It's just a different rhythm.
Right.
So if you don't recognize that, you got kids, you got businesses. We just use us, for example, 27 years, 3 decades. Our kids are, our oldest is 14. So for 14 years, we didn't have kids. That was a different rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So now you got kids and we still got businesses.
Right.
And we're still building our media company. Y'all see us on here all the time. And we're still doing our, so now the rhythm changed. Now we almost 50. Ooh, that's another
I know
line.
yesterday I was thinking, I'm a middle-aged woman now. Oh my God, how did that happen?
Because time waits for nobody, your
No,
people.
no.
So I would say connection isn't lost.
Right.
Your rhythm just changed.
Yes.
So you got to lean more into the new rhythm. That's why we always talk about our 5R framework, right? Recognize, regulate, get a new revelation, right? Build a new rhythm around that revelation, and then put it on repeat mode so you can dare to be you. So the connection normally isn't lost. It's just that the rhythm has changed. So before we go to the next question, just think about this. Connection doesn't disappear. It gets disrupted by unadjusted rhythms. Right? It gets disrupted. It's just the rhythm. So you got to recognize when life starts to feel heavy or overwhelming, man, the connection is still there. You just got to find a new rhythm, good people.
Yes.
So that's what we will say to that question.
Yes.
We've been finding a new rhythm for damn near 30 years. So yeah, and we're going to keep going, finding that new rhythm. So listen, question number 4, babe. What's question number 4?
How do I trust again?
Now this is a big one. You want to...
No, you can start that one.
This is a big one, especially if, oh man, how do I want to say this? Especially if you grew up seeing distrust, right? So if your nervous system grew up seeing distrust and then that trust was broken in that relationship, that's going to be hard, but you can do it. And when I say hard, I mean you're going to have to overcome yourself to do it. That's why it's hard, right? And so, I always say this: words don't build trust. Actions build trust, right? So
it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Trust is, especially when it's been lost, you don't get it back instantly, and that's just a fact. I mean, you do have to do the work to show your partner, hey, you know, you can trust me, you know, whatever, because we don't really have any context of what the trust issue was.
No, we don't. They just sent us
you know,
that.
just in general, you know, and you got to be on the same page. Okay, are you willing to stay while the trust is built? Is the person willing to do what it takes to gain the trust? I mean, you have to have both people on the same page, wanting the same thing, because if you don't, then it won't work for sure.
That's real. That's real. Wifey tell you no lie. She ain't capping. Listen, trust is built through consistency, consistent safety over time. That's what I put down. Trust is built through consistent safety over time. Your body don't trust words, good people. It trusts patterns. I say this all the time. Your body learns through repetition. Words mean nothing to your body. Okay, let me bring this home for us before we go to the next one. Listen, when we first was about to get married, when I met Wifey in college, go back and watch those other episodes, but your boy was out there. You know, I had women everywhere.
Wow, okay, sure was.
I'm just telling you, I was out there, right? So to build that trust back, just because I had told her, oh, I'm a changed man now. Remember when I told you all that? We got married. That was just words. If I didn't show that repeatedly over a period of time, we wouldn't be sitting here at 27 years later. So that's what I'm trying to show you. Trust is built over consistency, making that person feel safe consistently over a period of time. You can't do that for 2 weeks and be like, oh, why she don't trust me no more? Come on, good people. So listen, trust isn't rebuilt through promises. It's rebuilt through repeated safety. If you ain't willing to repeat that for your partner, then don't ask for them to trust you no more. That's just what it is, good people. You gotta do the work.
They have to feel safe. I mean, they have to feel safe. I mean, that's just.
So yeah, question number 5, man. We almost about to wrap this up. This question number 5. Go ahead, babe.
How do we grow without growing apart? That's good. That's really
good. That's a good one.
I mean, everybody's should be growing. I mean, you know, some people probably may be feeling stagnant, but some people are growing. But I think it's again going back to communication. I mean, you got to communicate with each other what you're going through, what you're experiencing, how you're feeling, what's changed. I mean, that's my opinion.
No, really, because growth is necessary. If you really want to build something worthwhile, you have to grow. And you have to grow from an individual standpoint, and then you have to bring that together. So I always say it like this, right? So one person is going like this, right? As long as you're on the same path, it's okay. What happens is most people start doing this. You know, so you got to want the same things. So the question was, how do we grow without growing apart? Well, like Wifey said, communication, right? But then you got to want the same things, right? Me and Wifey want the same things in life, even though we don't see the world the same way. That's the beauty of it, right? She got her own perspectives, her own way she see the world, but we want the same thing. So I wrote down here, individual growth plus shared vision. You gotta want the same things. So individual growth looks like I got my own routines down, right? Wifey got her own routines down. She tells me how sometimes when we be out kicking it or something like that, I'm gonna go with you. She be like, no, you ain't. This is my time alone. That's her growth time. You see what I'm saying? Like you gotta get your own routines, good people. Even though we are together, we are a team, but we still an individual. Right? We still got our own patterns we have to recognize within ourselves, our own personal growth. So I would just say, find your own routines, get your own routines down, and then make sure y'all share the same vision.
At the end of the day, is your vision the same?
That's it.
Because if you don't have the same vision, then that's where an issue probably is.
That's it. So I wrote down this: we growing, but are we growing together? Like that's because the question ain't ever, are you growing? You always growing. The question is, are you growing together, and what are you growing into? That's everybody's always growing. You know what I'm saying? That's just, so are you growing together, and what are you growing into? So growth without alignment creates distance. Growth in a relationship, we talking without alignment to the other person creates distance.
That's good.
All right. Listen, man. Listen. That was the last question. We wanted to answer 5 of these questions, man. And so that was the last question. Drop your questions below. When you see this replay, you got questions, drop them below. Drop them below. We'll send a response back, or we'll go live again and do a third Q&A. But yeah, good people, when you see this replay, whatever part of this hit you, man, let us know. We want to hear from you, man. Give them the email again.
THA marriedlife23@gmail.com.
That's it. So listen, as we get up out of here, you don't need more effort, good people. you need more awareness
Mhm.
to recognize those patterns. You looking at 27 years in and still going strong. So we telling y'all the sauce what to do. So listen, this ain't about doing more. I'm about to close it out with this. It's about recognizing, regulating, building new rhythms together, right? Because nobody can build a life that's worth living together if you don't do it together. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do it together. So what else you got, babe? What else you got, babe? That's it?
That's it.
Man, listen, good people. We hope that helped you.
Yes.
And like I said, drop your questions, man. Don't be afraid to drop your questions. We'll get to them. And until next week,
Yes.
same bad time, same bad channel. This the Married Life Podcast, baby. And we out.